Hey everybody, happy Monday. It's Monday, February 9th, 2026. Thank you, God, for another day of life. Thank you, God, for waking us up this morning, giving us breath in our lungs. To God be the glory. I'm here because of God. Let's get to it, guys. Today was a green day. Did momentum trading all morning. Been focusing on momentum day to day, and then transitioning my future strategy to be more of a weekly intraday or interday swing strategy where I'm focusing on more like maybe 1 to 2 day moves on catching swings in futures, starting with just low contract size. I'm gonna be moving up. I'll transition into reviewing my futures contract trades in the future, but for now, still focused on momentum. So yeah, yesterday I did a review of all my um all my trades for the last 2 weeks in momentum specifically. And what I noticed, so let's go through those trades. So my best trades, I had deep pullbacks to the 9 and 21 EMA on specifically doji candles that had low bottom wicks, and the trend move up was had closes at their highs. And when you look left, there's nothing. So that's consistent here. We look left, there's nothing. Candles close at their high. The pullbacks have deep lower wicks to the 9 or 21 EMA on low and decreasing volume. Same here, nothing to the left. Got in at the breakout here. Also, like nothing crazy to the left. We have higher highs and higher lows. Pull back to the 21. Worst trades, there's a lot to the left. It's choppy, long upper wicks. Green volume is low. I'm going in at the top of the red candles or top of the green candles rather rather than getting in at right after a red candle that's a signal candle. Here got in the middle of a green candle on the way up, and when we look to the left there's a big wick. Got in right after a red trend candle. um, Here, I did well in the beginning. I got in right after a couple of red candles that had decreasing volume to the 9 EMA. Got in right at then got in at the very top of the move. Okay, and that cost me all my money. So this helped me a lot today because as I'm becoming more professional, I'm becoming a lot more patient and realizing that what works is take less trades. Um, Take less trades, but more quality trades. Um, Patience does pay off, not forcing a move. So today I noticed that I was very conservative with my decision making. I really needed to wait for just the right setup for me to be there. There were multiple opportunities today where I could have gotten in. I could have forced the trade. I'll give you all an example. So on one stock, um, I was gonna get in on a breakout in the middle of consolidation. Um, Really just waiting for the signal candle on the 5 minute. Like that's the fundamental rule. Is like getting in right after a red candle, aka a signal candle on the 5 minute. Nothing to the left. The pullback candle or dojis. This is important here because sometimes in the past I would wait for that signal candle. I would wait for the pullback, which is good, but the pullback wasn't a quality pullback. I would be getting in on a pullback that has either high volume, or it's not really an ideal candle. It needs to be a doji with long lower wicks that are touching the 9 and 21 EMA. And my worst trades were the ones where I get in right after a big red trend candle, and I learned that no big green candle follows a big red candle. Um, a lot happening to the left of the screen, so a lot of choppiness to the left, and then long upper wicks to the immediate left, which means liquidity grabs. So That's were my tenets this morning, and I did that today. So I caught this move of UOKA. It had no news, $660,000, 660,000 worth of float, and I think the volume today was 50 million, and average volume was like 500,000. I want to say it just had ridiculous numbers. So here we had um dang, on the 1 minute. I'm like, dang, how did I miss this? So I was kind of late to the game. But honestly very happy with my play here. So I got in. So this spiked up on opening bell. So I think that's something I'm learning here. So in opening bell, I want to get better at catching this move a little bit earlier. Sorry guys. I want to get this better at catching these types of moves a little bit earlier. I was a bit hesitant right in the beginning because I didn't see a signal candle. Hold on, let me pull up my Weeble. Yeah, so this isn't really doing that trading range justice. I mean, this thing kind of just like popped up very quickly. In the moment, yeah, we can get involved, but most of the time you may get hurt because of that. Because in those opening bell breakouts, um, opening bell breakouts grab liquidity on both sides. You don't really know where it's going to go. So right here, we were in a bit of a range, and if you look back here, we had um some resistance right here, and it broke out. So I was really waiting for this breakout. And rookie move would have been to get in right as it broke out. It could have easily just went to the downside. So what actually worked in my favor here was it went up, it halted. On the 1 minute, it came down here and formed this it formed this long wick, and then as soon as I saw that it was bouncing off of the 9-2 EMA, I got in. So what worked here? So yes, I followed the rule. The system was this was a pullback with the signal. Actually, a breakout pullback with signal. Um, this is a pullback with signal because it went up, it pulled back. This was our pullback candle. Look at the volume on that. Super low, just outrageously low. That means there's not a lot of institutional selling happening right there. Only institutional buying. Everybody's on board. Um, um, Seeing super low volume on the pullback is a really strong reason to enter. So that's what happened today. I saw this thing pop up, and by the way, look at this. On the 1 minute, it closed at its high. And another thing I noticed is that when the momentum move up closes on its high, that's really good. So here we had that momentum move up, right? Momentum move up, closed at its high. So that's great. We had the pullback. Pullback was not ideal because we have this long lower wick to the upside, but the volume was crazy low, okay? It halted, Okay, I so this strategy was interesting. I didn't get in right at the halt. I waited. So if it halts before I get in, wait for the pullback after the halt. So this in this case, I was like, okay, it halted. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see what the nature of that pullback is after the halt because that'll tell me if I need to get in or not. There's a lot going on, and what I'm looking is that I'm not. I'm looking to see specific things. I'm looking for very low volume. I'm looking for doji. I'm looking for a touch to the EMA, and that's what happened here. This pulled back. It touched the EMA, and as soon as it flipped, like this is where the momentum comes in. As soon as it flips, by the way, before I forget, I could have gotten this breakout earlier if I paid more attention to level two. I noticed in the moment I was paying attention to level two, um, and I knew where I wanted level two to break. Level two is becoming more of a useful thing that I want to incorporate into my strategy. So I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna continue working on mastering level two. It can help get in on valid breakouts before most, or let me know that a breakout actually isn't following through. Because on the level two today, I did notice that when it hit this point and passed it, that's when the move initiated. So if I had used that as my reason to get in, I probably would have gotten here earlier. But who knows? Like, let's say I got in at the halt. Let's say I liquidated everything. Excuse me. I would have had nothing left on this move up. That's why it's so important to if you're in on a position and you're managing your exit, wait on the 1 minute. Like wait for that on the 1 minute those two red candles to form because here one red candle form. Okay, we're still waiting. We're going down to the EMA. So probably wait for it to go a little bit below the first 9 and 21 EMA. But in this case, it popped off right off the 9 EMA, and that's where I got in on that momentum switch. So I got in here right at the bottom of this move. Look where I got in, right at the bottom. This is phenomenal. This is great timing. So I noticed it went down. So here I don't have a signal on the 5, which we're not going to get a signal on the 5 minute with something moving fast. That's another point here. So in very aggressive moving stocks, we're not getting signals on the 5. That's why we have to be very attentive to our signals on the 1 minute. Signal on the 5 is cherry on top, but signal on the 1 minute for these aggressive moves is where we got to be looking. So we got this just super low volume, close at its high, touch off of the 9 EMA. As soon as I saw that wick touch, so I didn't get in while it was going down. I actually get in while it's going up. That's an important point here. You get in on strength while it's going up after a touch of the 21 of the 9 EMA of the 9 or 21 EMA. That's important here. So we waited. We didn't get in here, right? And I'll tell you why. I could have gotten in here, but it continued to go down. So what I needed was confirmation that the 9 EMA was support. We have a wick. Boom, get in there. So could have gotten in here, yes. A little bit more aggressive move. Waited for the 9 EMA touch, then get in. Boom. Wrote it up. 1, 2, 3 exit. I entered here. We'll see that trade second time, but I managed this very well. I got out here, it halted again. I got out here, and then I got out at the very top again. So I managed this very well. Overall, great. Pullback. So this was a pullback. Why? I had patience and discernment to know what fundamentally I make money on. It's very simple. Like, this is what I make money on. This is what I don't. I'm just not going to do things that I don't make money on. Stop taking that risk or chance because overall it doesn't pay off. What I would change here is just, if anything, I would change just like paying more attention to level two because it could have given me an edge. on the initial breakout. And I'm being becoming okay with taking signals on the 5 minute when the move on the 1 minute is really good. Taking a signal on the 1 minute when the initial move on the 5 minute is really good. That's what I'm becoming okay with. Just know here, all in all, be patient, wait for that right setup, halt, wait for the pullback after the halt, get in on the signal on the 1 minute, that's okay. Because the 5 minute move was so crisp. Look at that 5 minute. Closed at its high. Went down. We didn't even get a signal. This could have easily gone down and then continue going down and been a bear trend bar, but and very low volume, guys. Just very, very low volume on the pullback is just another great reason to get in. So if anything, I would change more attention to level two. Level two will give you that edge. Be okay with taking entries on 1 minute if the signal's good. Um, oh wait, I'm curious to see something. One sec, I'm gonna pause. All right, guys. I'm back. So another thing I need to change here that I didn't discuss is not so here I got in at the top. I didn't wait for this signal candle to close on the 5 minute. I mean, I literally I got in. Yeah, so I got out, then I re-anteed up here. So we had decreasing volume. I thought this was gonna break out because we had this touch. I thought it was gonna break out again. So like, yeah, I mean, this was me. Whoa, this was me trying to ante up again after a move. And I noticed when after a big move up, emotions are high. I want to throw in more money at the top and usually lose money. I don't know, like so we had that pullback, decreasing volume, where we're holding 9 EMA, but it just couldn't get through again. I got in right here. Excuse me. I got in pretty aggressively, pretty early. May have been better to get in here, but could have been stopped out. But I didn't. In these moments, I need to rely more on level two, I feel like. In the moment, it's like things are so fast paced and moving so fast. But if I do want to ante up again, I need to be. So if I want to add more after I'm ready in, probably use less and probably rely on the level two more. And like it needs to just be much clearer signals. All right, so next made $10. This was deep pullback. This never got back up. So I instantly got in and got out because I saw that this wasn't going anywhere. I wanted a deep pullback and then a continuation. This volume right here on the pullback was just so strong. I think that's what I missed here on the 5 minute. Did Let me see. Yeah, here, look. Yeah, look. I got in. I didn't wait for the signal on the 5 minute once I was anteing up. So I need to, if I'm gonna get in, if I'm gonna get in again, if I'm gonna get in more, I need to wait for that 5 minute candle. That's what I'll decide here. Like that's my rule. So if I wanna continue playing, get in again, I must wait for the 5 minute signal candle. That's what I'll do. Cause things are excited, want to throw money, and I've noticed in the past I end up like actually going from a green day to red day, which is the worst feeling ever. But it just takes in that moment a little bit of more slowing down. and waiting for that 5 minute signal candle. Because I got the 1 minute signal in the beginning, but what if a 1 minute signal candle comes up again? I want to ante up. The signal's got to be really good, either in the 5 minute or the 1 minute. But 5 minutes gonna take priority every time. Yeah. So in this case, I wanted a deep pullback. We had a pullback to the 50 EMA on the 1 minute, and I was getting in early, but it never really broke through. This is these type of trades. This was a deep pullback. This was a deep pullback strategy. Um, why did I take this trade? I took it because I had decreasing volume on the pullback, and then I had this signal candle with a long lower wick. If anything, what I'll change in the future is so it's good that I use less money on this. I like that. I use less money on this type of strategy because it is riskier because you're going against the trend and you're below all the EMAs. So continue to use less money. If anything, I'd change is nah, I managed this pretty well. I got in and got out. I was really hoping for a move to the upside. I set my specific loss. So continue to be very disciplined on the stop loss here. It's a riskier strategy, so use less money essentially. But yeah, I saw decreasing volume, which is why I got in. I like that. Saw the signal. Um, I'm okay with this. I think I managed this well. I made $10. Not huge. Could have made more if it went all the way up. But in the future, yeah, I keep a tight stop loss on this. It didn't end up trading. I got in, got out. So actively, it's good that I'm actively managed this. There are some cases when it would reverse back up, but it didn't work out in this case. So yeah, so that's the big lessons for today, guys. Big lessons for today is just take less trades. The reason I won today was because I didn't take trades earlier. That probably would have had me restless and emotional. Fundamental is here is you don't have to take trades. Like there's always this urge and this need to take trades, but the name of the game is here is protecting our capital, not losing. If we don't lose, we survive another day, and then we can throw our money into the true winners that are Porsche setups like today. Today was a Porsche setup. That's what a Porsche setup looks like, guys. This is the momentum play. We have breakout. Look at this I just like look at that close, bro. Like that's just a clear smart money move. Smart money's involved on that. Pullback is look at the volume on the pullback. We don't ever get that. In these type of cases, I mean, in the future, I want to be able to put more money in, but we're still learning how to discipline ourselves for the right move. So look, I threw the money in. Probably could have thrown more in. Made great return, but hey, some of these happen only once in a blue moon. But I caught it. I'm happy I did. Fundamental here is we waited, got such low volume, crisp close at its high, pulled back to the 90 EMA, shot up, managed it well, waited for so got out a little bit here, take money off the table throughout the entire time, good. We get out after one trend candle like that. Like we would have been out right here completely. We were. So yeah, guys. That's what we're working with. Appreciate y'all. That's what we learned today. Hope you have a good day. Bye.